All right, let's get reaction now. ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe joins us live via Skype. So, Pule, there are allegations from community members and an NGO that this is happening in Alexandra. What do you say to it?
Afternoon and afternoon to your viewers. What we tend to do all of the time when there are allegations involving our employees or public representatives on the ground, we request structures of the African National Congress to conduct their own investigation so that when we file commentary in this way, we do so fully aware or informed of all of the facts. We have been getting numerous reports throughout the country on the work that our public representatives are doing. Actually, as a matter of fact, today we have issued out a statement encouraging our structures to continue conducting the necessary oversight and monitoring to ensure that the work that is being done around food security is one that does not go out there to undermine or compromise the trust that the African National Congress enjoys amongst the people it leads.
Yeah, it's a problem that you are seeing across the country, though, with some ANC councillors, mayors even. So how soon does it take for you to actually come to a conclusion about whether or not this is true? Because ultimately, this is about feeding people.
Well, I can assure you and the viewers of the ENCA that a majority of our councillors, the men and women deployed by the African National Congress, to represent and hold dear to the trust that our people have placed in us, are doing their best. Where there are isolated incidences of people whose act or conduct undermine this trust, we are quick to act. You'll also have seen the kind of actions that the movement is able to take through its structures where there are allegations of comrades transgressing or breaking down lockdown regulations. There has been actions taken by structures in Mpumalanga and in the province of Limpopo. Such actions have also been taken in all other provinces. So we should not be delaying to take action where we have got evidence that there was wrongdoing. Our people need to know that we are on their side and are going to work with them to find a solution on this. Because this is a common enemy. It faces all South Africans. It doesn't matter whether you belong to the ANC or any other political party. It is important that the oversight that we conduct, all of us, is one that will ensure that those that are expected to be beneficiaries of the many or different social relief programs that are happening do get that. But it is also important for us to also note this point, very important, that those, whether it's NGOs or other social solidarity formations that are going out to communities to assist, when they do this work, they must work with our public representatives on the ground. There must be clear accountability and clear coordination on how this work is being done. You'll imagine that if each and everyone was to go to communities to distribute food parcels without working with our stakeholders on the ground, you can imagine the kind of a chaos that is going to create. Because when people see a service being given out to the communities, they associate that with the African National Congress. Actually, another point that we should be making, which we have made in the statement we issued today, was against a headline of an African Sunday newspaper which sought to suggest that these social and economic relief measures that are being executed or operationalized by our government are only meant for a certain section of society. We found this to be quite misplaced and undermining the overall compact that we in the ANC are trying to create with the rest of South Africa's people through government.
Yeah. So, Pule, let's talk a bit more about what we're seeing in Alex, because we've spoken to the youth, we've spoken to residents, we've spoken to the NGO, all pointing to this councillor, and these are all allegations, again, I'll stress, basically going out of her way to make sure that only people who support the ANC get food parcels. This is something you will slam if it is indeed true, of course.
Well, I can tell you now that whether it's in Alexandra, it's in Kailicha, it's in Mangaung, it's in Bushbuckridge, everywhere else in the country, the monitoring and oversight mechanisms that we have put on the ground are the same. The organizing team, we've got a virtual organizing team at Lituli House which is working around the clock to monitor this work. The Secretary General's office is doing this work, making sure that all provincial secretaries and regional secretaries throughout the country are able to report. I can tell you now that the province of Gauteng, together with the region of Johannesburg, are already attending to this matter and will be able to brief us at head office level in terms of the measures that they have taken, including what they've been able to establish through their own investigations. It's important that when we speak to these matters of allegations, we ourselves satisfy ourselves on the facts on the ground, make sure that we can come out and communicate to the public factually, knowing fully well what is obtaining on the ground.
Yeah,
but even with that, there is a broader expectation that our own public representatives or councillors, through their own conduct, they must not in any way sponsor or contribute to allegations that would otherwise suggest that they are doing things that would undermine this good work that social solidarity formations working with our communities are trying to do. So we should also not attract this kind of allegations through our own acts. We must do things that assure our people that everything else is meant to help them during this time of need.
And very quickly, Pule, of course, the KwaZulu-Natal PC, they are taking action, discipline in particular, against members who photographed themselves handing out food parcels to vulnerable citizens. This, of course, the party is saying is not okay as well.
Well, we share the sentiment of the Director General of the World Health Organization that a pandemic such as the one we are facing now is not one that should be used to politicize, earn mileage, or do to garner publicity. This is a humane act. Out of our own actions, the way in which we service our people, we will be able to earn the necessary stripes in the hearts of the communities when we do the right things. If you do the right things, there is no need for you to loud hail and say, this is what I've done. If you do the right things, the people on whose behest you shall be doing that act will be able to repeat and say, we know that these were ANC councillors doing this work. It will be them actually who demand to have such photos, not us as leaders who go out there and seek to pose with material that is being given to our people.
It's definitely not in good taste. We're going to leave it right there. ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe.